Hi, I'm Eric Kelly from KellyPlanet.com. This is a closer look at Star Trek The Next Generation, Season 4, Episode 15, First Contact. Well, this is kind of odd. We jump right into this emergency room hospital scene, which seems to be on an alien planet.
Can't find his cardiac organ.
What do you mean? I'm reading his steady circulation.
There it is, up here.
In his digestive tract?
You ever seen anything like this?
What are you?
Holy crap, that's Commander Riker, and it looks like his cover is blown. So he wakes up and he's all like, yo, what happened? And the doctor guy says, well, you're in the hospital, but you'll be okay. Riker gives him a fake name and address and says he has no family to contact. Doctor guy says, well, we can tell the stuff on your head is fake, and you have fingers, and your organs are in the wrong place, so what's up with that? Riker says, oh, I have a bunch of genetic anomalies. They don't really buy that, but they say they'll fix them up as best as they can.
Oh, there was one other thing. We found this curious-looking device in your clothes. What is it?
It's just a toy. I was taking it home as a present.
I thought you didn't have any family.
It's for a neighbor's child.
We know that's not a toy, and it looks like Riker also lost his comm badge. Now we're in the office of, the president of the planet, and his name is Abel Durkin. These guys are talking about their upcoming warp tests, which will be the first time these people reach the speed of light. Holy crap, that's Carolyn Seymour. We saw her before as a Romulan, and we'll see her as one again. Her name is Marista Yale, and that guy is Michael Ensign. We'll see him again, too. And his name is Krolla, and he's the head of security.
But perhaps we're moving too fast. Your opponents will see this as another example of your determination to pull us further from our traditional ways.
I cannot believe that my people would choose to retreat after all we've done.
I agree.
Yeah, so Krolla is super conservative, and Marista is super progressive, and, he's a Chancellor. Durkin is in the middle. He says, we'll continue with the warp tests, but after that, we'll slow down so everybody's happy. None of these people know about Riker yet. Picard and Troy beam into Marista's lab. We're almost 10 minutes in and haven't even seen the Enterprise yet.
We come from a federation of planets.
When a society reaches your level of technology and is clearly about to initiate warp travel, we feel the time is right for first contact.
There's got to be a better way to make first contact than just, showing up out of nowhere. Troy says, we came to you first because you're a scientist, and they tend to handle this kind of thing better than most people. Marista's all like, oh, ho, ha, ha, who sent you? I'm being punked. Picard says, no joke, we look a lot different than, these people are called Malkorians. And he can prove it, so he does one of his Picard maneuvers and takes the alien lady to the ship. He does that quite a bit. Yep, it took 11 minutes to see the Enterprise.
It's everything I ever dreamed of.
We learn as much as possible about a planet before we make first contact.
One of the things we monitor are your broadcast signals.
Marista's like, oh, geez, you learn about us through our pop culture. That's great. Picard's like, oh, yeah, we know. That's why we have observers on the ground. Of course, she's like, what? And Troy says, oh, yeah, we've been on your planet for years. Marista's like, oh, yeah, I understand, but that Krolla guy won't. Picard says, well, to be honest, we contacted you a little early because Commander Riker is missing and we need to find him. She says, yeah, we better because my people think we're at the center of the universe, and if they find him first, all kinds of stuff's going to be messed up.
I must ask you to trust me on this. If you tell the Chancellor about Commander Riker, you will undermine everything that you hope to accomplish here. Durkin will assign Krolla. Krolla has his own political agenda.
We're back to the hospital, and that doctor guy's name is Burrell. I don't think they ever say that. Apparently, rumors of the extremely weird patient have gotten around. That lady's name is Tava, and she says, well, we can't keep a lid on this for long. Burrell tells Riker, yeah, we know your story's a bunch of crap, and there are those of us that think you're an alien. Riker says, oh, no, I'm just a medical anomaly. But they know he is hiding something, and without the truth, things could get ugly, especially for him. Now it's time for Picard to meet Chancellor Guy.
Chancellor, I think you might want to clear your afternoon schedule for this.
So now both Chancellor What's-His-Name and Marista are getting a tour of the Enterprise. Oh, hey, meet Data, second officer.
A machine?
In a manner of speaking. The term artificial life form would be more accurate.
Captain Picard, is there someplace we might speak together without distraction?
Certainly.
Before we get to that, Marasta is going to beam back down, and I'll just remind you guys that so far, no one knows about Riker except for her and the hospital. The captain breaks out a bottle from the Chateau Picard to share with Durkin, and he's like, oh yeah, we ferment stuff into alcohol too. The Chancellor is a bit skeptical about the Federation's intentions, but Picard says, hey, you call the plays here, man.
And if I should tell you to leave and never return to my world?
We will leave and never return. Chancellor, we are here only to help guide you.
Yeah, because prime directive, but they ignore that all the time. Durkin says, you know, this morning I woke up as the leader of the universe as far as I knew, and now, well, all this. But I think it was a good day. It's time for Riker to bust out of there, and oh, look who it is. That's Bibi New Earth, who was Lilith on Cheers and Frasier. She's like, I know you're an alien, and you need me to escape. And I'll help you if you sleep with me. I'm not kidding.
There are differences in the way that my people make love.
I can't wait to learn.
But it's
your only way out of here. My alien.
Yeah, so I guess Riker banged alien Lilith because there she is helping him escape, and this only works for about 15 seconds. He tries his best, but remember, he's in rough shape, and the hospital guys beat the crap out of him until Burrell and Tava show up. They're like, oh, geez, he's bleeding internally. Get him to surgery, and call security, which will get Michael Ensign's character involved.
Picard has made it clear that how we proceed is entirely our own decision.
You cannot possibly be suggesting surrender, Chancellor.
They are not hostile.
Marasta, you are incredibly naive.
So I guess the cat is out of the bag. Only Marasta here knows about Riker. Krolla is freaking out about all this new stuff going on. He loves their traditional ways and will die to defend them, which will be a thing later. Oh no, Krolla knows about Riker and tells Durkin he is one of the alien spies. Marasta says, no, that's not a spy, that's their ship's commander, and the aliens have been on our planet for years. Sorry, I didn't tell you about that.
Imagine what they have done. Influenced our young, stirred up dissent.
Where is this Commander Riker now?
He's recovering from surgery. He suffered head injuries in an escape attempt.
We're at the hospital, and Marasta says the doctors up on the Enterprise could probably help a lot, but Krolla says, no way, we're going to interrogate him. Hey, Doc, use your drugs to wake him up. Burrell says, no way, Hippocratic oath. So Krolla says, fine, I'll replace you. Durkin calls Picard out on the Commander Riker spy thing, and the captain says, yeah, sorry, it was wrong to withhold that information, but Marasta thought it might be best.
There is no starship mission more dangerous than that of first contact. Centuries ago, disastrous contact with the Klingon Empire led to decades of war, and it was decided then we would do surveillance before making contact.
Durkin says, I can understand your logic, but you guys messed up. Picard says, well, your people were about to achieve warp, and everything we know about you told us that most of you guys would absolutely freak out and lose it if you ran into another species, so we kind of handled this the best we could.
It was a mistake.
A mistake I might have made in your place. I rather like it, actually.
Like it?
That you make mistakes, like any man.
Chancellor, I have made some fine ones in my time.
So will you release my officer? And Durkin says, yeah, let's talk later, and Picard says, okay. So Krolla has Riker revived and tells him, yeah, I know your name and that you're an alien, and I need to ask you some questions. Riker's like, oh, we're on a mission of peace. But Krolla says, oh yeah, well then how come you have this cool phaser thing? And Riker says, again, we only use those for defense. But Krolla doesn't buy it and thinks they're there to conquer his people.
When they find us, I will be dead. Killed by your weapon. A peaceful accord will no longer be an option. For my people.
Yeah, so that happened. But that plan would never hold up, even to the most basic forensics. Fortunately, Durkin decided to tell Picard where they were keeping Riker in a scene I skipped over, and there's Worf and Beverly just in time. Tava and that guy are like, Riker shot Krolla with that weapon we still haven't removed from his hand because we hate safety. The doctor says, well, he's about dead, and Worf gets the phaser. Krolla's gonna be okay, the phaser was on stun, Riker's recovering too, so what happened?
Based on the angle of impact, it suggests that Krolla's left hand was on the phaser when it went off. Commander Riker was in no position to offer any kind of struggle, Chancellor.
Krolla was trying to be a martyr.
Yes, Carolyn Seymour. Krolla wakes up and says, oh, I'm not dead. And Durkin's like, you're on their ship, you idiot. No, Chancellor, you must not be friends with these aliens. And Durkin says, yeah, I know. Durkin tells Picard it's pretty obvious his people aren't ready for any of this, except for Marasta. And she's like, we gotta be ready for when we go warping around. And Durkin says, we're gonna cancel that warp program too. And she's not happy about that.
You once said if I asked you to leave, you would do so without hesitation. I'm afraid I must ask you to do just that.
I regret that I won't have the opportunity of knowing your people better.
Picard asks how their government's going to keep this all quiet, and Durkin says, well, I'm sure there'll be stories for a while, and witnesses will come forward, but the masses will laugh it off and go back to watching their TV shows, and this will all pass. Marasta says, well, this sucks for me. Picard, please take me with you. And Durkin says, yeah, that's probably best. She won't keep her mouth shut.
I have to believe that you cannot be fully prepared for the realities of space travel.
I have been prepared for the realities of space travel since I was 9 years old and sitting in a planetarium.
So, hey, Worf, escort the Chancellor to the transporter room and assign this lady some quarters, because she's coming with us.
Until we return, then.
With luck, we'll both be around to renew our friendship, Captain.
The title of this is First Contact, which would also be the title of the very excellent second TNG movie. The guy who wrote this original script also did Far Beyond the Stars, which is one of the best Deep Space Nine episodes ever made. It seems almost everyone else in the writer's room wanted to get their name on this one, including Ron Moore and Michael Piller. You may have noticed I was calling Carolyn Seymour's character Marista instead of Marasta for like the first 3 minutes of this video. I corrected myself eventually, sorry about that. This is very odd and unique in the Trek universe because this story was told from the point of view of the Malkorians, not our intrepid crew. We're supposed to see Krolla as this Luddite kind of bad guy and Marasta as this intelligent, forward-thinking scientist, because well, she is. But as Durkin reasoned at the end, Krolla was kind of right. As long as their people think the way they do, they are going to want to stay away from the Romulans and the Klingons, Ferengi, Borg, and whoever else for as long as they can. LeVar Burton does not appear in this episode. I liked this, even though it was, very talky. It was written very well. I'm going to go 4 deltas out of 5. You can let me know how you feel about that. If you liked that video, thank you. Like and subscribe if you want to. Maybe make a comment. There's more Star Trek videos and related content on my website. Check it out at kellyplanet.com. I'm Eric Kelly. Live long and prosper.